Hey guys, it's Abby. I'm gonna make this quick for you today, but I need to prep our ground beef. We buy it in bulk from Sam's and then we package it individually with using a food saver, put it in the freezer, and then we take each pound as we need it. We found that this is a lot more cost effective than buying them individually from the stores because we could be spending like $6 a pound, but instead we're spending about $4 a pound. That's just where the economy is right now. We've always saved money this way, no matter where the price of meat is, and it always seems to be cheaper by buying it 10 pounds at a time from this store. All right, I've used this food saver a handful of times already with you guys, and I just figured, why not talk about meat? It is a very expensive thing for most households, and I'm always trying to save money wherever we can. I used a vacuum sealer before that was not the Food Saver brand. It didn't last very long, so we ended up buying the Food Saver brand because it just clearly was a superior brand, and it's holding up. Here it is. So $48.12 for 9.86 pounds of ground beef, and this is the 90/10. There, you can see it for yourself. And then I'm pretty sure the other grocery store that we used to buy from, the price of meat there is like $5 or $6 a pound. So with this, you are going to want a scale. I mean, you could eyeball it, but I can't even tell you how many times I thought I had a pound and it was way off. And then also, it's like $3.50. I have to go get my kids from daycare here pretty soon, so I'm gonna do this as fast as I possibly can. First, we're gonna cut out 10 bags. I can't say enough good things about this machine. I don't think they have the same color in stock that I do, but they always seem to have a variation of this same machine, just in a different color. So I can link whatever one is currently being sold. I think overall, the Food Saver brand is a pretty trustworthy brand that you won't be disappointed with. And nothing is perfect forever, so after a bit of wear and tear, you might have to replace it, but the last one that I had that was an off-brand, I did not have it for very long. There we go. Okay, so 10 ready, and then make sure to seal one side, because otherwise you're not going to get very far. All right, last one. Okay, so while that is being sealed, let's go ahead and split this into groups. Instead of like unwrapping and getting it so messy on the countertop, I like to keep the plastic on. I just feel like it makes life a little bit more simple. Okay, and then it just is easier to have it in two groups. Also, you're gonna want the trash can handy. Wash your surfaces before doing this and after. This is approximately 10 pounds, and then since I've cut it in half, I can do 5 groups of this 1/2. And I'm careful to not cut too many different parts of the plastic, just because I don't want to get plastic in our meat. With this scale also, you're going to want to turn it on, zero it out with your plastic bag. And then put your group of meat in there and see what we're at. Okay, so we're at 16.18 ounces. So that tells me that I can add a little bit more meat in there to get it to 16 ounces or close to that point, because this isn't a full even 10 pounds that we're looking at. So it's not going to be perfect for each pound. Just keep adding a little bit more. Okay, that puts us at 15.6. A little bit more. 15.98, perfect. I'm gonna let that be. So for right now, I'm going to just bag them individually before I seal them. That way, if I need to make adjustments, then I can. I'll cut this in half. There we go. And again, I used to take the plastic all off completely, and I'm telling you, it was so time consuming. Like, once I started grouping it like this and just cutting through the plastic, it made life way easier. Let's see where we're at on this one. Okay, so that's 12.7, 13.05, 14 ounces. Keep going at it till we reach 16. Okay, 15.34, almost there. 15.56. I need to be taking bigger chunks. 15.7. There we go, 15.98. Good enough. I think this one's gonna be a larger chunk. Probably didn't cut it too evenly. Oh, that one started out at 15.73. So I'm gonna leave that one at 15.73 just because this wasn't an even 10 anyway. So a couple of them are going to be a little short, and that's okay. So now we'll see where this one is. I absolutely love saving money, and so we got the food saver machine, or the previous one. We got it with the intent of doing this exact thing. I wanted to bag our meat individually because a friend of mine had also done it and said it was saving her so much money. And like, it's a little bit of savings here and there, but if you think about it, adding up over years and years and years, that's a lot of savings. Like, seriously, meat is not cheap. Plus, if you were to buy the 90-10 at just any old grocery store, that's the pretty expensive one. Usually when Jarrett and I would buy them individually at the grocery store, we would go for the 80-20 because that was just a little cheaper. It was still just fine. But now that we're saving so much money, the price difference is like $1. I'm not even kidding you. So this was $48 for the entire 10 pounds. Well, the 80-20 would have been like $47. So really no difference per pound. It's minuscule. Ooh, okay. So that's 16.26. So I can take a little bit out of there. There we go. This looks great. Okay. This is going really well, really quick. We're at 4:03 right now for time. We're actually going out of town to visit some family. So we're trying to be really quick. And I looked in the refrigerator, and this has been sitting in there a couple days since we went grocery shopping. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're going out of town. I cannot leave this beef in here when I've been meaning to package it. I can't let it sit all weekend. So here we are. Now the next one is 13.55. Okay. And then if you've been on my channel before, then you know I really like the decluttering. But if you're new here and this is what brought you to my channel, welcome. My name's Abbie. I really do like to simplify life, and this is just one of those ways that I try to make life easier, save money wherever we can. And then with this food processor, we do a lot of meal prepping too. So that's another thing you'll see in a couple of my food videos. I'm not a chef, this is not a Food Network, but I do like to be smart with our meals, make enough extra that we can have leftovers, and then reduce the amount of money that we're spending on lunches when we go to work. Okay. 15.98, perfect. The other thing too is that I think I alluded to it a little bit in some of my recent videos. Life does look a little different right now, and so we're just trying to save money wherever we can. Everything is so expensive these days. So if there's anything that we can do to make that better for our family, then we're definitely gonna do that. I am in a really big career shift right now, looking for what's next. So, future is just a little bit unknown, and it's always good to save money wherever we can. Okay. Now Dad, that's at 13.37. I feel like I always get them at 13 or 14 ounces. This does get a little messy, guys. Almost there, 15.73. Perfect, 15.94. Get that plastic off. Okay, and then while we're watching me do this, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and like this video. Let me know of any techniques that you guys have for your household to save money. I am open to suggestions. I'll share what I can with you, but definitely share what you have with me. I would love to learn more. I do wish that we had a Costco in the area. I think our Costco is like an hour away, hour and a half from where we live. So all we have right here in this immediate area is Sam's Club, in addition to like your normal Walmart, other grocery stores. We have Hy-Vee in the Midwest, and that's one of our go-tos. We also have Aldi. That's a really good grocery store for clean ingredients, I've heard, and then they have pretty great prices. They are a European-based company, so a lot of their food has to be up to a European standard, so they don't have quite as many dyes and additives as what our grocery stores allow. So that's nice. Just 2 more left. 14.4. Okay, let me see where this one's at before we start making changes. Okay, So this is gonna be our lower pound because this is 15.8. I wanna leave that alone. And then I'm just gonna write that this one isn't quite a full 16 ounces. Are you still with me? Okay, good. Okay, we're gonna do this really quick. So, first up, line it up on your food saver, close it, and vacuum. With these, once you have sealed it and vacuumed, press it down to make it flat if you can, because therefore it is going to freeze faster and thaw faster. It's also easier to store. I mean, can you imagine having all these bulky little bags of beef, or just having like a solid little stack? Fits so much easier, trust me. Okay, so there we are. Oh, this looks solid. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect, but the flatter you make it, honestly, the easier it is when you go to thaw it. So set that over there. Oh, and label it. Today is Friday, May 16th, and this was 14 ounces. And I just assume that the rest are 16 ounces unless they state otherwise. After you got that first one bagged, that might be your lighter weight than the rest. Then you can just move on to the others and bag them or seal them. Okay, it's 4:13. This might be the fastest that I've ever done this. We had our family pictures taken a few weeks ago, and we just got them back the other day. They're so cute. Last time we had pictures done, Oliver, our 3-year-old, was only 5 months old. I feel like we need to do them a little bit sooner this time, because he changed so much between 5 months and 3.5. So we'll try to do them every like 1.5 to 2 years. But I love our photographer. She's amazing. There we go. 5, 16, 25. And we'll keep it moving. I don't worry about flattening it too much until after I've sealed it. I just feel like I want there to be room around it so that the vacuum has a little bit easier time getting the air out from all sides and it's not blocked. I'm also gonna try to make a little TikTok video or short video from this. I did have plans to do like a combination of a long video and a short video to sum it all up, but there was just not enough time today. Okay. Ah! I need to be more careful. Okay. There we go. I usually leave a corner for what I want to write, and then it makes it nice for cutting open. 5, 16, 25. I cannot believe it is May already. Time is flying by. That means that my son is going to be a year old in 2 months. How? How does that happen? And I usually do take my rings off while I do this because I would rather not have to clean bloody beef out of my wedding ring. Okay, and you know, I also do this with the chicken breasts that we get from Sam's. We buy a big pack of like, I think it's 20 pounds, individual chicken breasts, and they're just in a bag with all of them frozen. In the past, we didn't get through them fast enough, and so they would all be freezer burnt by the time we got around to eating them. So what I do is I bring that frozen bag home, and then I individually package them each, because then it helps reduce the amount of freezer burn. That's the nice thing about vacuum sealing them, is that you're limiting the amount of freezer burn that it can be exposed to. Same with breast milk. That's why you try to seal it without air in the bag, just in case you wanted to know that fact. Okay. Let's try to take a little clip here. Okay. There's another one, and now we got halfway done. Cool. You can't see it, but our kitchen is surrounded with our bags for this weekend, so that's why we've got our whole little charging station right here, little tablet, AirPods, some backup chargers. We are going to Minnesota, actually the Twin Cities, to visit family. I go there every now and then. Oh my gosh. This is my baby at daycare. It's 4:20. We're almost done. Usually this takes me at least 45 minutes. Maybe it's because I get distracted, but that's just my normal ADHD. Sometimes I think filming keeps me more on task than not filming. And maybe that's why I put a lot on the internet. 2 more. You know, I wish there was a better way to do this without having to use up so much plastic, but I'm telling you, this just makes life so much easier. So this is the last one. Now I can take everything down to the freezer and put everything away. So there is a nice little setting on here for storing, so then it just keeps it closed without actually sealing it. And then I do like to fold up the cord. There's technically a place to put it in the back, but gosh, fitting in there, it's a big hassle every time, so I just don't even bother anymore. If it fit better, then that'd be nice, but it doesn't. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So this is how we prep all of our ground beef. Now, again, let me know if you guys have any tips for saving money in your household. I am open to suggestions right now, but this is one of our main ways that we like to save money on meat. We use the same system for prepping our meals for lunches and leftovers that we don't want to eat right away, so we save it for later. But anyway, if you're new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you've been here before, thank you again for all the support that you've given. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, leave a comment, and then check back for more. I try to post on Fridays and a couple videos here and there that are off schedule. But I guess that's it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!